Welcome back to some more library cleanup. I know that's not actually the name of the game, but it's a very long name. It's almost like an anime show. So library cleanup seems like a pretty strong thing. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. So library. I honestly, librarian cleanup, tidy up. Yeah. This game has a very easy name to forget, doesn't it? But in the last episode, we did get assemble. And slowly but surely, I am finding out how incredibly powerful it is. Very powerful, actually. To the point where today, in this episode, it could go pretty quickly if we get the right momentum rolling. I'm excited about that. We are at 1,000 books currently right now, so we're a little bit under a third of the way to go. Not too far. I see nothing, but there's a chance that we get 1,000 books today, maybe. Who knows? Also, the key. Trust me, I didn't set any traps in the chest. Very well. Okay, nice. Let's go ahead and open up a chest. Was it on this side? It was on the other side. Let's see. To Librarian. Look, let me tell you something. We have an incident, a very unexpected, very nasty incident in the Grand Library. It's total chaos, a complete disaster. They're saying it's the fairy. Can you believe it? That little nasty little fairy is causing mischief. I believe we already maybe have kind of read. No, we haven't read this. That little fairy is causing mischief and turning our beautiful library into a state of total disorder. It's a disgrace. But I am a man of action. I see a problem and I fix it. So in response to this emergency, I am hereby granting immediate and unconditional permission for you to run within the Grand Library. Normally, you can't run in the library. Everyone knows that. The rules are very strict, but I am changing the rules to make things happen. This exclusive order applies especially to the librarian. You need to move fast, you need to be strong, and you need to get this library back in order. So run! Run like you've never run before. We're going to clean up this mess, and we're going to do it lightning fast. Right. So I guess that kind of goes into the theme of today, where now that we have assemble, and now that we can run around, things might go really fast. So, in about 2 rows, we will automatically get another level up. And I will spend that level up on assemble again. So, let's see how fast we can go. We're going to go ahead and hit 5 straight up. Well, yeah, we're going to hit 5 straight up. Let's start from over here and work our way through. Okay. We'll hit 5, and then we will pop the eyeball. And after we pop the eyeball, we'll go ahead and pop the light bulb. Now I need to get into a very good, how do you say it? Rhythm of keys here to be able to do this fast. Did we get everything? I think we may have. It looks like we have. So now let's pop the light bulb and see where all this belongs. The Zen of Perfect Pairing. And then we'll drop it all right there. Perfect. And since we have a few things going on, let's see where the rest of these are. I don't think we're going to have enough time for that. So I need to find a good rhythm. Once I find a good rhythm, great. And I think what I did is I kind of messed up on this rhythm here. So let's rearrange that. We'll go with that to 5 to 6 to 7. Perfect. Okay. And what I need to do is I need to do exactly this. Use up the light bulb and try not to use up the eyeball. Light bulb and eyeball. I know it might sound a little bit confusing, but I'll get into the rhythm here shortly. Rhythm of the beat. Rhythm of the beat. We only need to do one more row. So let's do it again. Pick it up. We have Mystery Fiction, Magical Theorist, Maris Volume 4. We will assemble. Perfect. We will check where the rest of it is. And it's just a 3 book. Okay, so it's a 5 book. So that really doesn't help us too much with the assemble. Whoops, there we go. We did get the level up. I will spend it immediately. And then we'll continue to use the rest of what we have now. Perfect. There we go. And 1. And 1 down there. Nice. Let's drop it. There. Okay, cool. So that kind of went well. It was just unfortunate that we picked up a book that had only 5. Yeah, but you know, that's all right. It's not going to always happen like that. So let's go ahead and grab this book here, and we'll go bam into bam. There we go. I didn't mean to hit 4, I will say. So we're not going to be able to do it fast enough because, at least right now, just because the cooldown is just not there yet. It's not that high of a level yet, but that's all right. We will eventually get there. Hindsight, I definitely would have rather, you know, maybe get assemble first, level that up, but hey, you know, it is what it is. We'll grab that one over there. But the assemble and the little eyeball really need to be kind of comboed. There we are. We have all 10. Let's go and do that. Oops, I already hit 4. That was on accident. There we are. Nice. Let's go and do this. And come all the way over here. Yeah. Perfect. Nice. Oh. Maybe there? Yeah. Cool. Come over here. Okay, so now that everything is almost very close. Oh. There we go. Everything's all kind of done up now. We got everything recharged, except for the light bulb. That will come in a second. So we don't need the light bulb right away. Let's go and grab a random book off the ground, and we will hit assemble. And then this. Get the remaining ones. Make sure we are sprinting as well. There. Let's try to fine-tune our abilities. I think that is 10. Check to see where these go. Right there. Organize. And send them off. And then let's pick up another random book. And then we'll just continue doing the rest of the light bulb and ignore the... Ooh. Ignore the... There we go. The eyeball. And that will be kind of our rhythm here, I guess. So this is the 8. 8. Perfect. 7. There? Whoops. There? Yeah. Nice. Do we have any more? No? Okay. Well, as we wait for our light bulb, we could turn to the eyeball. Light bulb, eyeball. I'm going to mix that up. I know it. Well, no, it comes pretty fast. Are those maxed out? The light bulb is not maxed out, so that's something I need to kind of work on with the cooldown. Maybe I'll upgrade that next. Yeah, even the active timer, having that go longer would be nice to have. All right, random book. Maybe we should always pick up books that might be 5 or greater, or greater than 5, I should say. Let's do this, do that, and hit you with that. I guess I kind of was a little bit early on the light bulb there. And then we'll make sure we are sprinting. There, it's like so many buttons you have to like remember to click here. And then there. There we are. And then we'll finish off the light bulb. That would go right here. Perfect. Number 10. And this one will go up there. Number 2. Number 2? Number 2. And over there. So we only need 4 more rows of stuff, and then we can get our thing in. Get our upgrade for our cooldown. I think it's probably best to do that, honestly. Yeah. We want our light bulb to come back faster, but we want it to last a little bit longer. Let's try to find a book that's 5 or greater. There we go. We have a 7 here. Perfect. And everything almost kind of syncs up fast enough. We're just a little bit behind. So let's go now to there. Okay. Make sure we don't have anything behind us. We do not. We'll grab these 2 up here. Let's make sure we are sprinting and go down there. All right. Now let's rearrange and send them off. Oh, we don't have our thing done. Our number 4. Our automatic shelving thing. So even that could be kind of perfected a bit. Grab a random book. See where it goes. It goes right above us at number 8. And let's go to over here. There we are. And number 2. Nice. Got a little bit more time. That one right there. Good. Alrighty. It's kind of weird, kind of, you know, using the assemble, because up until recently, especially like towards maybe halfway through the last episode, we haven't really used the assemble, so we've been doing things a little bit differently. That's a number 7 book. We'll take that. And let's hit it now. Hit number 3. Check behind us. Seems like we're good there. There's 2 on the ground and 1 on the top. Grab that. Grab that. And I believe our eyeball is maxed out. There we are. Start grabbing some more random books. This is number 8. Is this for this one? No. There we go. And this one is literally right next to it. Nice. And this one is over here. I would love to actually get... maybe right there. I would love to get to 2,000 books today. It might be wishful thinking, but, you know, I don't know. That'd be really neat. Not there. Not there. Might be on the other side. It is. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find ourselves another book greater than 5. 3. There's 1. 6. Okay, cool. I think we have a nice little system now going. And the last one over there. I think we're picking up... I think it's 6. 6 books we're picking up at a time. It's either 6 or 7. All right. Check where it's at. Goes right there. Organize them. And send them off. Grab some more books. This one goes down here. This is number 2. Probably to that. This one's number 8. Perfect. This is actually kind of satisfying. This is really satisfying because... Uh-oh. I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. We're just going so fast now. 3. And we can get one more in. Down below. 5. And that was that. Okay. Let's grab another book. That's above 6. There we go. Our assemble is almost done. We only need one more row. And that is it. So let's go ahead and pop it now into that. Nice. And after this row, we will then go ahead and level up our light bulb. It's gonna be hard for me to get... Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. To get used to the whole sprinting thing now. Oh, we don't have that either. Don't have number 4 cocked and loaded. So we gotta do it manually. go. Level up. We will go ahead and do that. Light bulb. So now our active timer is a bit fast, or not faster, but longer. Cooldown didn't become faster, but you know, our timer got extended, so that's good. Come down here for number 8. And that's that. Okay. Let's find another book greater than 5. It's 3, 1, 2, 7. And now the next time we level up, I probably will go ahead and level up our assemble again. Nice. So I guess how assemble works also is it will do the ones that are closest to you first. It's not like a random thing. It's whatever's closest to you, and then that's that. So I don't need to actually look behind me because it should take whatever's behind me first most of the time, right? There we go. And that goes down there. This is book number 4. Oh, perfect. And this is over here. Number 4 as well. And this is number 10. Nice. Was that everything? Nope. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. Cool. Okay, let's get ready for another greater than 5. There's a 6 right there. Off we go. All right, now check to see where it goes. Down there. Order it. And go like that. Okay, so I think I'm pretty confident in my system now. Kind of getting a little bit of a muscle memory here. Right here, volume 7. Nice. Up we go. Still maybe not using sprint as much as I need to. Need to probably use it a little bit more. Do we have one for this? I think we do. And it's right there. Ah, just missed it. That's okay. So just like that, we're already up to 1,100 books. I feel like that was pretty fast. Any more? We have an 8 right here. And we will assemble and hit it. Nice. Cool. Now, with this game, I know some people didn't realize this game uses AI generated art. And some people actually, I've heard, regret buying this game because of it. And to be fair, technically, yes, it does use Gen AI. For only, I think, like a few things. Like, I think it's like 2 or 3 paintings and 1 other asset. But in all technicality, yeah, it used it, you know. And people are kind of turned off about that, and some people didn't really realize that. Gotta make sure, I guess if you are really, how do you say, if you are really strict about that thing and what you consume, you really gotta kind of keep an eye on disclosures and things like that. Nowadays, right, 2026. Even if you just take, for an example, I don't know, the next Call of Duty game. What is it? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Let's take that game for an example. That game has Gen AI in it, and it will have it, and they already have disclosed that and things like that. Now they use it for like certain assets and things like that. And I had a conversation, I talked about Gen AI recently on my main channel, which you can check out that if you want. It was mostly about game developers not disclosing doing Gen AI And I truly believe that they should. Developers should be at least disclosing it. That is up to, that is their responsibility, and they should absolutely disclose it. And the developers that I kind of talked to recently last week were on about talking about how they use Gen AI for images and things like that. I think that goes right there. That right there. Yeah. No, that's a different book. Maybe right here. That's glowing, so it's throwing me off a bit. I don't think that's correct either. Am I not seeing it? No way that's that. No. That's it for this this shelf, I think. Interesting. Okay, we'll put that one down for now. Anyways, the developers went on to say that they used Gen AI to create images, and then what they did is they heavily edited the image with artists to repaint over it and things like that. Me, myself, I don't think that, I don't know the whole artist thing, and I'm not really familiar with all of that in particular. But some people said in the comment section, some said it's, that's considered art still. Some people, and the majority of people, agreed that it was kind of like not really art. If you use a Gen AI and then you just kind of repaint it over it and heavily edit it yourself, you're still kind of taking from other resources and things like that. And I can definitely agree with that. But that was kind of the dev's excuse and things like that. Anyways. Does it affect me too much? Honestly, it doesn't. I do play games that have Gen AI. I'm not going to disregard a game because of Gen AI. I think Gen AI games with AI in it could really help. It could be, if it's used, if a tool that's used properly, it could be beneficial. Especially if you want to get like ideas off the ground for something that you have and you just don't have the budget. I understand it. And me, myself personally, that looks like, there we go. Me, myself personally, who has hired artists many times for the channel in the past, it's not, it's not the cheapest route, and you are paying for somebody's self value, so to speak. Like, they value their work and they charge you for that amount, and that's what it is. And that's just how it is, and every artist is different and every individual is different. And that's just how it is. And so for somebody who's building a game, making a game, yeah, it could be kind of tough because it's not the cheapest and we're all not really all living, some of us are kind of have a dream, but we just can't afford that dream. Was I not seeing where the other books were? Hang on a sec. Let's see. Am I not seeing them? I am not. I don't think I'm seeing them on the map. Interesting. Okay, well, that's all right. That's some funky things are happening, I think. There and there. Oh, and there. All right. Very well. Let's go higher than 5. But yeah, I mean, if it's used correctly, I think it could really blossom somebody's creativity and their work for a game, for sure. And the reason why I say it doesn't, and I don't want to like dismiss it as, oh, it doesn't matter to me. That's not exactly what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is there's been a lot of similarities in my life over the past couple decades where you can kind of compare Gen AI and how it's used and how it's consumed very much so to like e-commerce. Because I know a lot of people, they are upset with Gen AI, mostly to do because you're taking that kind of work as from a artist that would typically do that actual thing, right? Correct. I think this goes all right here. Yeah, nice. And that is correct, you are. And as someone who has family who my entire life have owned small businesses and things like that from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s through the housing crash market in 2008, all the way up into COVID. there's been some very hard times. And one of those things were e-commerce and big box stores. I, for half a decade, worked in a shop, a mom and pop shop, our family business. I worked there for 5 years, dedicated my life, because in theory, and the idea was to have the business kind of go to me and be passed down generation to generation. That was the plan for it. The business was in business for almost 25 years, over 20 years, so about a quarter of a century. And things were booming, absolutely booming. In the late 90s, early 2000s, it was really good. Business was well. And let's see, let's do right here. We already have one. It looks like, possibly right there. Yes. Is that safe zone? That's not safe zone. There we go. There's safe zone. Perfect. Level up. Let's go ahead and do the... Let's do the assemble. Nice. We'll go over there. Anyways, business was booming. 90s, early 2000s, things like that. Parents would always dream, I would love to hand this over off to my kids and their grandkids in the future. I think that would be a lovely idea. I think it would be amazing. And that was their dream. And, you know, unfortunately, that dream never happened. Never got to happen. And one of the things, I never went to college. I joined the workforce. And before I could ever actually work in the family business, I needed to go out and actually get work experience from elsewhere. I was not allowed to actually work in the family business until I got experience elsewhere, to kind of avoid that bias and that nepotism kind of thing. Not the nepotism kind of thing, but I don't know, just kind of like that bias thing. Like, you know, I can't just teach you real life work stuff. You're gonna have to go learn that yourself before you can ever work here. And I did. I went out and I did exactly that. I worked at Radio Shack for some time, and I did landscaping. I did house remodeling, demolition work, and did all different kinds of trades before I ever actually was, you know, I was ever actually working at the family business. But as time went on, I lost my job from Radio Shack, understandably, because the business just went under. And one of the big reasons is e-commerce, Amazon, and big box stores, huge box stores, right? And there we go. Let's do that. Perfect. And even when I worked for half a decade at the family retail shop, mom and pop shop, customers would come in and look for something, and in particular, and I would always help them. Hey, this is what you're looking for, and I can get you it right now, and you can buy it right this second. But unfortunately, there was a moment in time where, hey, I can check my smart device, my smartphone, and actually look it up online. This thing called Amazon is actually selling it for cheaper. And I can get it for cheaper. I can get it for $10 cheaper, $15 cheaper, things like that. And understandably, I wouldn't get mad at the customer. I know what they're, you know, especially during hard times, and maybe they can only spend so much, and maybe saving that $10, $15 there means more to them than spending it towards their local mom and pop shop that, you know, kind of would pay for my wages. Like, I know you're paying, and that's what I kind of would explain that to them from time to time and be like, I know it might be $10 or $15 more, but it really does kind of keep, you know, it does kind of help me keep a job too. But that's just how the reality was. I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it, I think, at this point. And we want to do the cheaper and easier route, cost-efficient route, and just more convenient, really, the convenient route. That's just kind of the path we've all kind of gone down. I'm part of the problem. I would work and I would still shop at Amazon, you know, but it's just convenient and cheaper and easy. You know, I can't really, who am I going to blame? I'm not going to blame anybody for doing that. That's just the reality of it. So I think with the Gen AI thing, I totally understand, you know, eventually our business went under. It was going down year by year. More people would continue to shop online. More people would continue not to shop locally. And they would find themselves getting better deals online. Yeah, that's just how it was. There we go. So over the 5 years, every year was just more down. This year's down, this year's down. And we would try to find ways to compete. But it's kind of hard to compete against something that just, I don't know, is so much bigger and does it so much better than you do. I can order something for you, but it's going to take like 5 business days to get here. And I don't think you want to wait that long. Especially when you can get it for $10, $15 cheaper. And it will show up to your door in about 2 days. It's cheaper. It's convenient. So we were already going down and down and down, year by year and year. And you can see it. Less and less customers come through the door. Sad. And then eventually COVID came around. And honestly, it was one of those things where we already knew that things were we were trying everything we could to keep things in order and try to keep the business afloat. But COVID came around and just suddenly was that. It was just the final nail in the coffin. I'm not blaming COVID for the reason why the business eventually was sold off and we no longer had it anymore. It was just mainly because that's just a downward trend, and that's how it was going for the vast majority of the half decade that I worked there. And previous to that, before I even worked there. It was sad to see, and it was the end of an era for sure. And I know for a fact my mother, she was heartbroken because she always pictured herself when she started in the 90s and early 2000s. She always pictured herself handing it down to her children and things like that, and making sure that they were secured with something and all that. But, you know, as time went on, nothing's ever a guaranteed, especially how fast and quick technology evolves. Oh, one more book over there. So I like to compare the two a bit. I like to compare the evolution of e-commerce and the, now that we are seeing unfolding in our eyes, the evolution of Gen and AI in general. Now, personally, there's no slowing it down. There's no stopping it. Just as much as there's no stopping e-commerce, there was no way that we were going to stop it. Even if we all decided to, I don't know, I would say even if we all decided to shop locally, there was just no way of actually slowing it down, unfortunately. I'm not getting, oh, there it is. I think people just gradually kind of, this one is a green book. That's on the other side. This one right here. I think people just gradually became, you know, it was just easier. I don't have resentment to society for that. That's just the reality to it. So I like to compare the Gen AI to the e-commerce evolution, and that's exactly what it will eventually be. I don't think there is a way, and I could be wrong, and I really hope I am wrong about it, with the evolution of generation AI and things like that, and less and less artists being able to become an artist because of that. But, you know, even before Gen AI, I do believe that as an artist, and I have a cousin who studied art and did all that in university, in Berkeley, in New York and things like that. It's never guaranteed to be a sustainable artist, an artist that can rely on their work. It's just, I think that has always been it for all these years. It never was a guarantee. Anything you create is never a guaranteed, especially in the position that I am in. Specifically, a streamer, a content creator. It's not a guaranteed. Never was a guaranteed. Never could be a guaranteed. But we don't all get lucky, and we all don't get a time in our life to have this kind of privilege, and the fact that I have had it for so long now, it still blows my mind. I never thought in a million years. So I feel for the people, and I understand about the artists in the Gen AI. I do. But I would have to say, if I kind of put a stance on I am not playing or I'm not buying any game that has Gen AI, I don't know. I feel like I was the problem back in the e-commerce days, and I still am. I still order from Amazon to this day, you know, and I'm still kind of contributing to that. I'm contributing to mom and pop shops not being able to pay their local tax or pay their employees and things like that because I do use the Amazon. I still contribute to it, you know. If I didn't do that, if I didn't, let's see, let's go, is it 5? Yeah, right there. It'd be different. It would be different if, you know, I wasn't part of e-commerce and things like that, but I am. I buy stuff, and I buy stuff online, and that's just what it is. You know, I'm sure we are all guilty of that. But I feel like if I took a serious a serious stance on not ever purchasing or playing games that had Gen AI in it, especially a game like this where it's really cool and it's really great, and maybe there's this image and that image that was Gen AI and that image over there, and actually no, that's in-game images, so it might be that image and that image that's Gen AI. Out of all the other things, you know, and out of the rest of the game that's just fundamentally fun, you know, and relaxing to play. I don't know, there's kind of a little hypocrisy I feel in my soul a bit, because like, you know, between the early 2000s to going into the 2010s to going into the 2020s, I was contributing to that. I was contributing to big store department, to e-commerce. I don't know. There's just a little bit of hypocrisy I feel in the bottom of my stomach if I were to kind of just have a strict that. Plus, there has been games I've played over the years that, yes, they have AI in it, but they have been really good. And sometimes these indie devs, believe it or not, we'll go ahead and upgrade that. Sometimes, believe it or not, these indie devs will get off the ground with what they have, and maybe they use some AIs to actually help them kind of unfold a plan or kind of help them out, and then they'll go back and they will actually kind of like replace that AI that they started out with, which is kind of nice to see. So you never know. I think honestly, it all just depends on individual basis of people and how they do it. Now, there are very bad tactics of Gen AI, and I've actually talked about that over the years on my main channel as well. People that abuse and use the system, indeed, and they do it in a very bad way. And the way they do it has put a pretty bad label on AI, and a lot of people will think AI is cash grab, right? Automatically, you probably think that. And it puts it in a bad way for people that use it as a valuable tool, which is kind of sad. Because yes, the bads of it, and there's good and bad with everything, right? Absolutely, good and bad with everything. And people have abused the AI system for sure in that regard. Cash grab. Last year, I made a video about it in particular, and on my main channel, of course, and I talked about it. I talked about specific developers, and they were literally pumping out, and I'll call it out, and ever since I called it out, I mean, they blacklisted me from all their games and everything, and they don't want me a part of anything ever. Understandably, I get it. I know what I did. I don't want to say I exposed the truth, because that's not what it was, I guess. I don't know. I was just kind of pointing out certain things that they were doing. And the tactics that they were doing were kind of crappy. They were making simulator games, and they were developing early access simulator games, and they used AI like no other. And they were using it, and they were abusing it. in the sense that they were releasing an early access game every month. Every month. Oops, there we go. They were releasing one every single month. In a 7 months stretch from the beginning of last year all the way up until like September, there was a 7-month stretch where they were releasing early access games every month. Now, I did make a video on that last year and a lot of people saw that, and they did actually change course. They actually didn't release any of those games. And they used AI art in a sense that their screenshots on Steam were all AI. And it was just false advertising. They were trying to get people to add their games to their wish list because Steam has an algorithm, believe it or not. And if you have a lot of wish lists on your game, you're going to go to the kind of the top of the ladder in popular upcoming games. So they were using AI as their screenshots and saying, hey, this is our new game that's coming out. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. And people were adding it to their wish list because it looked so cool. Okay, it was really actually bad because not only were they using AI for their screenshots, but they were also using GTA 5 game assets as their gameplay trailer. Yeah, really bad. Anyways, I was blacklisted from them, and honestly, good. Because those are bad practices, for sure. But yeah, I kind of wanted to just speak upon that a little bit. I know you didn't ask for it, but sometimes this is a good time to kind of get stuff off my chest from time to time. You know. And hopefully maybe people think of that. Because there was a time where I was sitting there in my life for 5 years. Sitting there watching out the window. Looking out the window. Just hoping people would come into the store and buy from us. Because I wanted to stay in business. And I wanted my mom's store to succeed. And I understand, and it could get very frustrating when you hear someone come in and say, hey, I can get it cheaper on Amazon. I'm out of here. It's frustrating. But I understand. I get it. Totally. What can you do? You know? The best thing you could do is, I guess, fight it, but I just don't think, and we've seen it with e-commerce, I just don't think the majority of society will go that way. Not when stuff is easy and convenient. And again, I am guilty of that, for sure. All right, let's see. Here we go. There we are. Not too bad today, I will say. We are coming up on 1300. It seems like our average, even with what we have now, it does seem like our average still is hovering around 300-ish. Possibly. Maybe the more we level up, we only have 3 more rows to level up before we can get more. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and do that. I guess it is getting a bit cleaner though. We can actually walk through, not too bad. 3 for that. And, ooh, I remember where this is at. Yeah, it's over here. Good. Volume 1. Was this? Yeah, right there. I think I'm going to do the light bulb next. I actually might do... I might do the assemble upgrade. Not the assemble, the auto shelving upgrade next. Yeah, because we are running into situations where, hey, we just have totally ran out of, like, our cooldown is kind of doing it's like it's holding us back on auto shelving. So maybe I do that. There we go. There's a plus there's a 9 here. Hide versus seek, magical warfare of stealth and detection. It's a weird contrast with AI, I tell you. It's a weird time indeed. You know, it really is. Because like, I see it in many different, I see it used in many different ways. And one of those ways is like through certain generations. And in particular, my grandmother, she is like so excited and so relieved about being able to kind of just pull up something and ask it a question and be like, hey, I have a question and I want to know the answer. And of course, it's sourced online and not always it's correct, but for the vast majority, it actually is correct, you know? And there's different biases of search engines and depending on where you live and things like that to that nature, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. Which is kind of impressive, at least for her, where my grandmother is just like, this is the coolest thing ever. And you kind of think of it as like maybe somebody who was born in the 40s, born in the 50s, and have gone through decades that we could never imagine living through, you know, and having that life experience to where they're at now, and to be able to have a cell phone in their pocket and process things, you know, pretty quickly and things like that, and be in communication with people in basically an instant. It's like a new world for her, you know? It's interesting. But I think like in everything, everything has its good apple and bad apples, so to speak, right? That's just how it will always be. Let's go there. Up to the top. Hoo-yah! Perfect. 5. Maybe. Nope. Nope. There we go. Nice. Alright, so we only need one more row and we level up. Let's do it. We'll grab a 7 here. And go on. This is the ultimate choice. Curry flavored poop or poop flavored curry. Oh my god. This is a book? I was not expecting that. I think for the most part, when it comes to video games and things like that, as long as you are having fun. Let me see if I can find this last book. We're missing number 10. Am I not seeing it? I feel like it's not highlighting, but maybe I might not be seeing it either. Alright. When it comes to video games, you know, play games at your own will. Have fun doing it, most importantly, you know? I guess. That's what gaming's all about. It's a weird thing because right now, there's also a lot of people that I don't think understand Gen AI too much. Because I see a lot of other discourse where a lot of conversations come up and they're like, well, I hate to break it to you, Kanz, but believe it or not, AI has been in video games for the last 50 years. Since the 1970s and the 80s, and, you know, AI enemies and AI bots and things like that. So I do think there's a misconception with that when people talk about it and don't fully understand exactly what it's all about. So yeah, that kind of AI enemies, AI bots, and AI NPCs, that's a bit different than what people are actually talking about when it comes to Gen AI. And, you know, honestly, I don't see it slowing down. It probably will never slow down. It won't slow down. And you see the biggest YouTubers out there, bigger YouTubers, massive YouTubers, using Gen AI as their thumbnails. And believe it or not, they do get very massive views. Massive views. And the reason why they do is simply because it works. It does. It opens up the imagination to somebody when they look at a thumbnail, and even if it is Gen AI, it opens up their imagination to think, wow, there's something there. I'm going to click on this video. And it works. But that's what I got for you today. 1409. We do have a level up. We will use it on our auto shelving. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.